Alright, now we're reading chapter 44 of the Bakemonogatari manga. We have an amazing, amazing cover. These huge fishes wearing masks flying through the sky. I don't know what this has to do with anything at all. So far there hasn't really been like cover pages so much in the series. Like usually it just kind of gets right into the action. So I wonder what this is depicting. I think he's out in front of Kanbaru's house. Her gigantic old-fashioned mansion. So I'm not really sure. Yeah, okay, so we cut back. It was just a title page, but that's fine. We cut back to our Suruga monkey. It's this little introduction bubble is describing it. As the energy of the wish starts to drain away. Abnormalities obey their nature. Rainy Devil reads the back of the wish, but the front is still the front. It's still a valid wish in the end. The wish to reunite with Senjogahara. So the first wish, the Rainy Devil, actually granted her front wish as well. She got faster. Sure, first she got relatively faster, because the other people in her heap were beaten. With, not beaten and running, but beaten with a big paw. But then, because of the fear of that happening again, she trained her butt off. If it does hurt Senjogahara, cannot fulfill the contract of granting Kanbaru's front wish, which is wanting to stay by Senjogahara's side. So she can't hurt her. She wants to just be by her side. Running away, this demonic energy flowing out of her. Senjogahara also declared, I will kill Kanbaru if she kills me. And killing me is now impossible for the Rainy Devil. That's right, that kind of gag, even though it was kind of silly and the movie poster was silly, it helped out in the end. Saying that so clearly put the Rainy Devil in a very awkward situation. Kanbaru going through all sorts of terrifying appearances here. Her face distorted like that scream mask. Remember that scream mask? Wailing and moaning, she stumbles out. Thus, Senjogahara Hitagi managed to pull off something that Araragi Komi could never hope to do. I want to be next to Senjogahara. She's granting that wish. In the end, she chooses to grant that wish. The hand exploding. Araragi seeing the original Rainy Devil with her pole with dangling monkey's arms, wandering away from the cram school. It's hard to say. It's bizarre to say something like this in a scene that it features a gigantic exploding hand in a huge cathedral. But this has a really nice feeling of anticlimax to it. Nobody was beaten, nobody died. The fight kind of goes unresolved. It was just this embrace. Senjogahara-senpai, I love you. Oh man, what a beautiful moment. I'm telling you, you take out all the supernatural stuff, you take out all of the fight scenes, whatever, and this is like a really compelling Yuri story, I see. I don't like you to such an extent. Yep, she's just going and saying it. You don't see this in Yuri manga too much, but it does happen sometimes, and I think it's good because, most people aren't gay. That's what it comes down to. I don't know the actual stats offhand, and of course sexuality is very much a spectrum, so just kind of trying to sort people into some straight gay dichotomy is not really that fruitful or necessary, but in the end, statistically, this is what you expect to happen in these sort of confessions. I don't like you to such an extent. We're still friends. We're good friends. I understand your feelings for me, but I can't reciprocate them in that way. Well, that's just how it is. You just gotta keep living. I mean, it happens. I'm sorry for making you wait so long. Holy crap. Look at this depiction. of Senjogahara as this holy entity framed by this wonderful, wonderful border with the floral imagery and almost like a tarot card, I would say. Something so symbolic and iconic beyond just the person that she is, with the wonderful train station looking cathedral behind her, and embracing her hand around Kanbaru's monkey hand. Like, oh my gosh, the benevolence, the holy blessed benevolence radiating from her. Sorry for making you wait so long. She realizes now it would have been best to kind of confront these feelings at the time. But she was aware that this is how Kanbaru felt. She chose to do nothing. Well, I don't know. This is more the sort of stuff we talk about with Yuri series, but what is it like when someone has feelings for you that you can't reciprocate? How does that feel? I think there's probably a weight to it. I think there's probably kind of a heaviness to it. It might not actually be all that pleasant. Like, maybe you find it flattering. Maybe you and to the extent that you like them as well, you think, well, that's great, you know. Obviously, that if it's someone in your life to this extent, it's someone that you kind of respect and admire. So yeah, I think you would find it flattering and nice. But I think also kind of heavy. The expectations that come with it, also heavy. And thus I think this sort of path of feigned ignorance and just kind of dismissing it and trying to act like it isn't happening probably holds a lot of appeal. Because then they can't realistically have expectations of you because you don't know. You don't have to ever have those painful conversations because you don't know. You don't know what you would be talking about. But, you know, it can lead to tough times for the person whose feelings aren't being acknowledged. It can lead to a lot of suffering on their end, and in this case, what you could mildly describe as a lashing out. So in the end, our girl Hitagi here, realizing she probably should have done something sooner. Still, will you stay by my side? Oh, oh, oh man, this is so good. I'm telling you, just this is so nice. Like, if this was the end of the Yuri series, that this hypothetical Kanbaru Tsujigohara Yuri series with no supernatural elements, I would be so satisfied with this ending. I really would. Because it's so real, and it's like tragic, and it probably hurts so badly for Kanbaru, but at the same time, she's so happy. You know, she knows that she'll just go forward with this friendship that is both so painful and so rewarding, with that deep, enriching, tragic pain. What a wonderful ending this would be. So Araragi watches this embrace. He basically just got everything he wanted. He's maybe a little jealous that Kanbaru is being so intimate with Senjogahara when he hasn't had any such opportunities, but he sees it as proof that such intimacy could exist for him in the future. And Senjogahara is capable of such intimacy, capable of trying to return someone's feelings, of this sort of empathy. And he's like, yeah, that's right. This is so stupid. Just flopping onto his back. Well, stupid is the absolute best way to put it. I just fought one of the most unwinnable battles out there, and I already knew very well how much of a stubborn, unrelenting girl Senjogahara was. It involves something very important to her. And here we get all of the kind of Yuri fantasy scenes of our dreams. This shot especially of what I assume are both of their hands overlapping like this, holding the water, is Shakespearean. Let me see if I can drudge up the depths of my skull to remember exactly what the quote is. It's probably not going to happen. But in Midsummer Night's Dream, can I even remember the characters? Sorry, this is a stupid tangent, but this series has got me kind of in Yuri mode, so we're into this sort of territory. It's Helena and Hestia. Is the other girl's name actually Hestia? And and it's after the scene where um, they've been seduced, they've been drugged basically by the fairies to shuffle all of their romances around, such that Helena believes, or sorry, Hestia believes that Helena is betraying her, running off with the guy she liked. I think that's what's going on. And there's this long speech by Hestia, or whatever her name is. Hermia? Hermia. That sounds more like it. I think it's Hermia. And she's talking about how we used to like sing from one tongue. We used to be like, she uses all of these metaphors, and I think there's one like we used to hold the same water or something like that. It's really bugging me that I can't remember. I used to know this part really well. And basically, she's talking about that when they were younger, they had lesbian experiences together, and that because of this, she thought that they had this bond, this like really unbreakable bond, that even if they went off and had husbands and stuff, they would never ever do something so cruel to one another. Anyways, it's a really beautifully tragic scene. I'll probably talk about it in some length at some future video, but yeah, this is really lovely. This imagery, the drops falling in and turning into lace, the ripples of lace. Oh my god, that's brilliant. Like, how do you even think of something like that? The confidence to draw it. There's no reason for Sanjigahara Hitagi to give up. Terrible burden, unnecessary meddling, unwelcome nuisance. It's the usual thing. Absolutely no purpose here. Really, yeah. Think about how this arc would have gone had Araragi been like, way back after the first incident, been like, oh my god, Sanjigahara, guess what? Kanbaru beat me up. Kanbaru has some sort of crazy abnormality. Isn't that wild? She would have been like, oh, what? And then she already, from their previous conversation, was like, oh, that girl never stopped thinking about me. She already had figured out that much, that Kanbaru was still in love with her. She figured out, like, probably immediately after that, Kanbaru is attacking Araragi. The only reason that she kind of held off is because Araragi told her flat out to her face otherwise, no, I just fell down. There's no problem. There's no abnormality. Nothing's happening. If she had known, she would have just gone straight to Kanbaru's house and been like, listen, girl, like, what the hell? Like, why are you trying to beat up my boyfriend? You know I don't like you that way, but we can still be together. Like, I'm really sorry it took me so long to respond to you, yeah, it would have been a totally non-violent arc. We wouldn't have, like, that 12-chapter fight scene. Well, I don't think it was 12 chapters. It was probably, like, 6, though. It was intense. Yeah, in the end. Yeah. Play with the devil, you become the devil. All I did was dig into Senjuro's subconscious and pull it out. Only ended up merging Kanbaru and the demon, making it stronger than ever, probably. On the other hand, I fell down so deep I was becoming a devil myself. He was going full vampiric. She was only what Kanbaru needed wasn't a new playmate. Just the woman she loved. Look at the lilies! Ah, look at all the lilies. You know what that means. You know what that means. Everybody around is so difficult. Oshino saw all these things happening. I'm sure he would say this. So, something good happened? Yeah, that's his catchphrase. You're looking well, Araragi. Did something good happen? This is so cool. Do you remember, like, one of the first trailers for Kizu? That's, like, the opening line of it. And I was just like, yeah! Alright, I like this. I really like Araragi fake smoking. That's really funny. Sharing secrets about him already. Kanbaru doing a monkey laugh. Oh, oh, it's so lovely. What a silly arc. I love that it's like the kind of climactic moment, which of course is so different. As I say, it's almost an anticlimax from the gigantic fight that happens before it, is followed up by this final revelation of like, man, I just screwed this whole thing up. Like the protagonist shouldn't have even been here. That I just love it. I All right. So that's the end of Monkey Trouble. After this, we're moving into the next arc. It's yet another one that I'm excited to see depicted in this style. Just sounded like a huge pervert saying that. Okay, bye.